YouTube, what's going on today? Chris Rucker here. Today we're going to be doing a little CDL prediction for the bracket for Major 1. If you enjoy this type of content, leave a like down below. If you think I should do any other type of content, drop a comment and let me know what you think I should be doing. I'll see you in the video. Real quickly, we're going to go through the standings here. 12th place sitting at 1-6, Las Vegas Legion. 11th place is the Carolina Royal Ravens sitting at 1-6. 10th place, Boston Breach sitting at 2-5. 9th place, we have the LA Thieves 2-5. Then we have 8th place, we have the LAG Los Angeles Guerrillas at 2-5. 7th place, we have Seattle Surge 3-4. 6th place, Minnesota Rocker 3-4. 5th place, Optic Texas, who went 4-3. 4th place, the Miami Heretics, who went 5-2. 3rd place, New York Subliners, who went 6-1. Toronto Ultra in 2nd place at 6-1. And 1st place is Atlanta FaZe, who will probably at least make the finals. This team is disgusting. They Celium, Simp, Abizi, the reigning trio, who, they've just been so proven. They have the most CDL earnings for a reason. They've made the most grand finals. This team, it's just like hard to say they won't make the grand finals. I don't see a world where this team doesn't finishes outside of top 3. I think this team, every event, will finish at least top 3. Their floor is super high. Next, we have Toronto Ultra, Kleenex, Insight, Scrap, all returning, and they brought in Envoy from the LA Thieves from last year. Major upgrade over Hixie. He fills the exact role that Hixie had. In Toronto Ultra, they won an event last year and they made the grand finals of the World Championship. They got world starred by the New York Subliners, but they just had a bad day. It is what it is. Scrap, probably the best player in the league, honestly. And then at 3rd place, we have the New York Subliners. Hydra, Kismet, Skies, the defending world championships. They won 3 events last year. They were a dominant respawn team last year, and they made an upgrade at their flex position. They brought in Sib from the Seattle Surge, and I like this move they made. I was a Seattle Surge fan last year. I love Sib. People just kind of look at the stats and just assume that he's just like a slayer, but he is not just a slayer. This guy is very aggressive, major impact. He can read the map well. He can make good decisions sometimes. His decision making is really good. It's not great. I think if Sib figures out how to become a consistent, great decision maker at all times, and if he can, this is the system to do it. They have a great coaching staff. I think Sib can potentially, move up and challenge Scrappy for the best flex player in the league. And then next, we're going to go to Optic. They're in the 5th seed. This team has Dashy and Shotzi returning, and they brought in Kenny from LA Thieves and Pred from Seattle Surge. Pred could be the best player in the league. He is, he's really smart. He's just such a smart sub player. He's always lurking in the right spot, in the right moment. You have to worry about him. I think when you have him and Shotzi, when Shotzi's banging on your front door, playing that entry role, and you have and Kenny and Kenny and Shotzi on the map, once they find rhythm, this team currently, I would say they're in tier 2 Call of Duty. I think there's 3 tiers of Call of Duty. Tier 1 is Atlanta FaZe, Toronto Ultra, New York Subliners, who have great slaying, great talent, great coaching staff, great teamwork. They just are cut above the rest. And then there's tier 2. I would say Optic Texas, right there, tier 2, fringe tier 1, just off the talent alone. I think their teamwork and preparation needs to get better. They will figure it out. I just think Kenny and Shotzi are they're scaling players. As the season goes on, they just continue to scale and just get to this crazy level. And at the end of the season, I think this team's going to be the best team in the league. They're my favorite to win the world championship. They're my pick to win the world championship. Once Kenny and Shotzi can find their rhythm and they have this team's flow is established, this team will be able to smoke any of the top teams. And then the other team in tier 2, we have the Miami Heretics. Journey, Lucky Metals, Vickle. Vickle was a sub, and he moved to an AR role for this team. And this team played in BO4, and they were good. They were really good. They just, like, don't necessarily, like this team is so good currently right now because of their teamwork and their preparation. They have a great read on the meta. They understand what they need to do to, like, play the map well, and they make really good decisions, and they just, like, work trades so well. Like, they're probably one of the best trading teams right now, and Call of Duty is all about trading at the highest level. And I just think as the season goes on, one of these players is gonna have to step up, or multiple, honestly, are gonna have to step up and, like, be superstars and perform at a superstar level for this team to, like, stay neck and neck with the other top 4 teams. It's possible. I just need to see it to believe it. And then we'll just cover those because, like, it's really a 5-horse race. I think one of these 5 teams is gonna win it. I think realistically, the only teams that can win Major 1 are New York Subliners, Toronto Ultra, and Atlanta FaZe. Obviously, shit happens. Anything could happen on a day of Call of Duty. Miami Heretics could show up and just world star. Maybe someone on FaZe gets sick. God forbid. Knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see. And then all the remaining 7 teams, they're in tier 3 Call of Duty, and, like, you know, they're obviously in the league. They're really good players, but when it comes to, like, wallet, talent, preparation, coaching staff, like it's just not there. Like, all those categories kind of like Seattle Surge, they have, you know, good coaching staff, good players. I don't think they have the talent. Maybe I'm wrong. LAG, they have good players. I just don't think they have the coaching staff for it. LA Thieves, they have great coaching staff. I don't know about their, like, players, you know? You never know. Like, anything can happen. Boston Breach, this team's interesting. I actually think this team could, like, be in tier 2 Call of Duty. I think they will, like, at some point. They just need, like, they have 2 really young sub players in Capsule, Snoopy, and then 2 veteran players in Priestess and Slasher. We'll see as this team progresses. I think there'll be a dark horse major candidate at some point, and then we'll move on to our predictions. Winners round 1, we have Atlanta FaZe versus LAG. That's going to be a quick 3-0 DoorDash challenge. Next map is Miami Heretics versus Optic Texas. This team just played in Miami Heretics absolutely world starred Optic. I think this series will be a little closer, but I think Heretics' current form with, like, just their teamwork, their preparation, their read on the meta, I think Optic just needs to scale a little more, and they just need to find more rhythm, and it'll be a good stepping stone. This will be a good learning experience for them this major. Next, we have Toronto Ultra versus the Seattle Surge. DoorDash challenge 3-0, and then another DoorDash challenge right after that. New York Subliners versus Minnesota Rocker. Then we move to elimination round 1. We have LAG versus LA Thieves. I'm going to go ahead and pick LA Thieves. I think their players will be good on LAN for sure. I think like I love Ghosty. I love Afro. I love Joe Deceives. I think, you know, Cammy, it was a questionable move. We'll see. I mean, like, he's had some good moments this year, which, like, is what they need. But I'm going to go with LA Thieves. They're going to win a grueler series. They're going to win somehow figure out a way to win a respawn, and they're going to win both the searches, and it'll be a 3-2 win for the LA Thieves. Next, we have Optic Texas versus Vegas Legion. After they lose to the Mutineers, not the Mutineers, the Heretics, they're going to rinse Vegas Legion DoorDash challenge. And finally, elimination round 1, we have Seattle Surge versus Boston Breach. I'm going to go with Boston Breach. I think Boston's going to take both S&Ds, and they're going to figure out a way to take a respawn off the surge, and that'll be enough to get the dub 3-2. Finally, we have Minnesota Rocker versus the Carolina Royal Ravens at 3-2. I'm going to go with Carolina. I really like Clayster. I really like Fellow. I think Gwyn has takeover potential. Minnesota, I'm just not sold yet. We'll see. Next, we have winners round 2, FaZe versus Miami Heretics. I think this is actually going to be a close series. I think Heretics is going to play them well. I think FaZe is just going to figure out a way to win with their coaching staff and their preparation and their superstar talent. They're just going to figure out a way to get the dub. Next, we have winners round 2, Subliners versus Ultra. I'm going to go with the Subliners. The Subliners have played some grueling series already, and they've shown resilience. I think this team just has more dog in them, straight up, and they're going to win 3-2. Next, for elimination round 2, we'll have Optic Texas going up against LA Thieves. I think LA Thieves will win the search and destroy. Optic Texas will clear them in the respawn. Elimination round 2. Next, we have Boston Breach versus Carolina Royals. I think this is going to be a really good series, actually. I think it's going to be neck and neck, but Boston Breach will win it in like a crazy round 10, round 11, game 5 S&D. And then next, we have elimination round 3. Sorry. My cat's making me tweak. We have Toronto Ultra going against Optic Texas. I think Toronto Ultra's form, it's just a little bit, it's just like a clear cut above Optics right now. Like their teamwork, they have a better read on the meta, they have a better read on how to play the maps. They're just more consistent. I think their floor is just higher than Optics, and this is where Optics going to go home in a top 6 finish, I believe. T6, and it'll be a 3-1 Toronto Ultra. Next, we have Miami Heretics versus the Boston Breach, and I think Miami Heretics are just gonna clear them. I think Breach will figure out a way to win the S&D, but Miami Heretics will clear them in the respawns. Moving on to elimination round 4. It's going to be Toronto Ultra versus the Miami Heretics. I think it's going to be a 3-0 out of Toronto. I think Toronto's just going to come in swinging. And then we have winners finals. It's going to be Atlanta FaZe versus the New York Subliners. I think FaZe is just going to figure out how to way to win this series in a game 5, crazy round 11, crazy situation, 3-2 for the Atlanta FaZe. That'll bump the Subliners down to elimination finals, where they play Ultra, and they're just going to smoke them. I think Scrappy's going to come out talking. He's going to rile up the Bulldog. He's going to rile up Sip, and those boys got dog in them, and they're just going to slam them. And then we have the grand finals, best of 7. I'm picking New York Subliners to win it, 4-2 versus the Atlanta FaZe, and that will conclude New York Subliners as your Major 1 champs. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.